I hate it when you have to change a reading schedule. And I hate it even more just because a book has gotten boring as shit and you don't want to do it anymore. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, bookworms? It's Mike here with another weekly update. I wanted to kind of do something real quick because I've been up with my small 4-year-old child since 3 a.m. this morning, and it's about 1 p.m. now. He was sick. This is just part of fatherhood, and I took advantage of that time, where he just wanted to kind of be held and just go to sleep, but you couldn't try to leave him because this is just dad stuff, right? And so I took advantage of that by doing what I always do and reading. But it has kind of convinced me that I cannot go on with my current reading schedule, and I'm going to explain here. As a lot of you guys know that follow the channel, I have been doing my read of Brent Week's Lightbringer series, and I am on book 4. I love the first 2 books. The third book, I felt like there was some cracks in the foundation, some red flags I wasn't liking, and I got lots of warnings about the Blood Mirror, lots of warnings about it being a filler and a fluff book. And I thought, well, now that I'm going into it expecting that, maybe it won't be so bad. Well, I'm here to tell you guys it is that bad. In fact, it's worse. I'm about 50% through this book, and so far, to me, it is about as interesting as reading a phone book. I feel like going back to book 3 and halfway through this book now, nothing has happened in about 500 pages, and that is far too many. I wouldn't even put up with that in Wheel of Time. I'm not going to put up with it here. So when I say I'm changing my reading schedules, what I was doing was one Lightbringer book a month until the release of the final book in the series, The Burning White, on the 22nd of this month. I need a break. It's that simple. Since the Lightbringer books don't really get a lot of traction on the channel, which is weird because I feel like they're really, really good books, at least up until this point. I felt like a lot of people are actually starting to talk about that last book, but the videos don't really get a lot of traction on the channel. Since that's the case, I'm going to finish this book, but I need a break because The Burning White apparently is almost 1,000 pages in hardcover. I need a break. I'm not ready for that right after this because I'm going to end up hate reading it if I do that. So I feel like the lead up to this, it's going to be anticlimactic because I'm going to stick by my plan and then kind of ditch at the last book. There's a lot of things I want to read right now, so I definitely don't want to feel like I'm being forced to read something that I'm not super excited to read now, and also something that doesn't seem to generate a lot of interest on the channel. So I think I'm going to finish the series because who reads 4 books that look like this and then stop? I'm going to read the last book. It's kind of like what I said with Stormlight Archive after I finished. What was book 2 called? Not Way of Kings, but anyway, Stormlight number 2. Like I said, I've been up since 3 a.m., guys. After I finished that, I loved it, but I needed a break because it was a lot of words. It was a lot of content. It was very heavy reads, and I needed a break. And the good news, I guess, for fans of this channel is that since I won't be reading The Burning White upon release, I'm going to take advantage of that time to finish said Stormlight Archive. And I'm finally going to finish Oathbringer. I've really been thinking about it a lot lately. I really did. Like I said last time, I struggled with that middle section, but I'm almost through it. And I think it's going to get that point where what we call the Sanderlanche, which is the last act in his books, much like Robert Jordan, are always crazy good. So I have a feeling that once I get past this next 100 pages or so, because look at that monster. Once I get past those next 100 pages or so, it's probably just going to become the page turner that those books always have. So I said I wanted to kind of finish that before Christmas and after the 5th Lightbringer book, but just, guys, you don't even know. It's just, I'm reading it and I'm just cussing out loud. What the hell am I reading here? And I don't like being frustrated like that while I'm reading a book. So if you love the Blood Mirror, guys, please let me know in the comments that, hey, man, it gets better. But right now, it's just I said, man, I really need some more Karis in these books. And now that I'm getting more Karis in these books, holy hell, is it boring. It is what it is. In the meantime, I think what I'm going to do in my downtime is I'm picking back up on the Red Rising series. And that is the second trilogy in the Red Rising series, starting with Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. I reviewed the first Red Rising book on the channel. You can find that here. It's kind of poor production because it's while I was undergoing a software change on the channel, but it got a lot of weird reaction because I didn't really care for that book at all. Not at all. I went into it expecting something different, and it wasn't what I wanted. And it's kind of messed up that I didn't do a follow-up because I thought that book 2 in Red Rising was like the most phenomenal science fiction book I'd read since Ender's Game. Seriously. I thought it was just absolutely phenomenal. 3 was really good, but not quite as good as 2. So 2 was more of the book that I wanted, whereas the first one was kind of just like a mix of Hunger Games and Lord of the Flies, and I didn't really care for that. But book 2 was very much in that Ender's vein that I was looking for when I got it. So what I had said with these is he just put out Dark Age this year, and when we went to the signing, it really, and I did that video here where we did to the signing and heard him speak, and very cool guy, so it made me want to be like, all right, you know what? I don't want to put these off and wait for that second trilogy to be done. I want to actually start reading these now. So, yeah, that will probably be for the rest of the year. I'll be working on Oathbringer. I'll be working on Iron Gold and Dark Age, and maybe getting back some Demon Cycle in there. But I just kind of want to let you guys know that's the update right now as far as the reading schedule goes. I just finished Dr. Sleep, and that video is right here for anybody who wants to hear me talk about that. I also talked about the Netflix adaptation of In the Tall Grass by which is a Stephen King and Joe Hill collaboration short story. They put the adaptation out on Netflix. I talk about both the book and the movie. Some interesting feedback on that one. But other than that, I ain't got a ton going on, guys. I mean, I'm just waiting now. I'm just waiting for the Dr. Sleep movie. I didn't go see Joker. I'm about the only person on the planet apparently didn't go see Joker. I talked about that in a different video about why I wasn't going to go see it. It wasn't any kind of like hate or anything like that. But I am very glad that it did well because I thought the fake controversy that people are trying to push is just ridiculous, and it's just a new level of fear mongering that I don't think we need right now. But other than that, I ain't got a lot going on. Me and my wife are still working through our Halloween Fright Fest, as we call it. We just watched Enemy by Denis Villeneuve. I know I always say his name wrong. That's the guy that did Arrival and the guy that's doing Dune. So obviously it's a director of great interest. Very strange movie. Still kind of noodling the ending around in my head or whatever. But what are you guys up to? I'm probably going to do this video from now on to replace the what are you watching, reading, playing, listening to kind of thing. That's about all I've got for this week. Kind of short, like I said, really frazzled because being up with a sick kid all night, I'll kind of do that to you. But I wanted to get this out there and let you guys know kind of my emotions on Blood Mirror right now. So I'm going to plow through it. I'm going to finish it. I cannot in 2 weeks from now pick up a 1,000-page hardcover and continue in this universe when I'm this frustrated with it. So it's going to be a delay. It's going to be a delay. So if you were really only following this channel to stick to the Lightbringer reviews, I'm sorry, man. I have to be motivated to do it, and I'm not motivated after what I've read in the last 500-600 pages in this series. So it's really sad because I said those first 2 books were some of the best fantasy I've read in a decade. And it just, wow, it almost feels like the guy had a trilogy planned and he just got too lazy to get his word count down. And it feels like now he's just trying to force out some extra books. And I always see this in new fantasy authors. They'll say it's going to be a trilogy, and then when it gains some traction, oh, well, now it's going to be 4 books. Hey, what do you know? You know what? It's going to go ahead and be 5 books. And it just... If you've got that many stories in your head, just make separate trilogies or something. Just stick to your original plan. Don't prolong it. Don't George R.R. Martin it. And I mean, at least Weeks is going to finish it, but God, I feel like he could have finished it, 3,000 words ago at least. So at least that's where I'm sitting at right now. So if there's some big epic crazy finale in Blood Mirror, yeah, I might look back at this and laugh. I don't know. But all I know is right now, I will not be reading Burning White on release. So if you were looking forward to following along with that, I apologize. But I will do that eventually. And you can find the other Lightbringer reviews right here if you're so inclined to do so. So guys, what are you watching, listening to, playing, any of that stuff? Let me know in the comments below, and I will talk at you soon.